So these are the ingredients you're gonna need: 1 onion, garlic, 4 tomatoes, chicken broth, chicken condiment, the Mexican cheese, pepper, salt, garlic salt, onion powder. And I bought these already rolled. They're Mexican tacos that are rolled. I got them at Albertsons, so if you're not good at rolling your tacos, to make flautas, you could buy these made already, rolled. And for the chile, I'm gonna need jalapenos and the green tomatoes. So I brought my water to a boil. I don't want to use too much water, so I'm gonna put the 4 tomatoes in there, half of a garlic, and half an onion, and I'm just gonna let it boil. I don't use too much water because I'm gonna use chicken broth, so trying not to use so much water. You don't need that much water. So for the sauce, I'm gonna boil the 4 tomatoes, half an onion, and half a garlic. And I don't use too much water when I do this. I'm gonna use some of this water for the sauce, and I'm gonna add chicken broth. So I try not to use so much water so I could keep the flavor of the onion, garlic, and tomato. As it's boiling, I'm gonna add just a little salt, half a teaspoon. So once the peel starts to come off, it's almost ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and fry my flautas. And I use vegetable oil. As this is boiling, you could see that the skins are coming off, so it's almost ready. I put my flautas in vegetable oil to fry, and then I'm going to drain them here. I have a bowl with a towel, and I'm gonna drain all the oil out. So I'm frying my flautas in vegetable oil, and I really don't use too much vegetable oil because I don't like to soak the whole thing in oil. The less oil I get, the better. So they're covered halfway, and then I'm going to flip them. So my tacos are frying up, and I think this is the best option. These are real tortillas with real ground beef in them. They're in the Mexican aisle at Albertsons. I know some people use the frozen tacos, and to me that's just too different. It doesn't taste like the real tacos from Chicos tacos. These are perfect. Just by smelling them right now, it smells just like the Chicos tacos, the tacos from Chicos tacos. So I recommend, if you have trouble rolling your own flautas, I recommend these flautas. So my flautas are frying up really nice, and I'm gonna check on the tomatoes, and they're pretty soft now. I put a fork through them, so now I'm gonna transfer them to the blender. Okay, so my tomatoes are ready. I'm going to mix them. In the blender. I'm adding everything, the garlic and the onion, and some of the water that I used to cook them in. So I'm gonna add a cube of the chicken condiment, some onion powder, Not too much because it already has onion. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And a little bit of garlic salt. Not too much because it already has salt. It already has garlic in there. Then I'm gonna mix it all together. So mixing all the ingredients together. Some people add tomato juice. If it doesn't look red enough, I will add a little bit of tomato juice. When it's missing some color, I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato sauce. And I like to buy, if I could, I like to buy everything in a not can, so it doesn't have that much salty taste. But I'm gonna add to have a cup of tomato sauce. For color. Flavor's already in there. I just want a little color in there. Okay, so this is how my sauce looks like now. It's kind of thick, so we're gonna have to add some chicken broth to it. And my flautas are ready. They're draining. I always drain my flautas because I don't like too much oil in there. So they're draining. So I'm gonna reheat the sauce that I just made, and as you can see, it's kind of thick. It's kind of thick. So I'm gonna add half a cup of chicken broth, and you want to go ahead and taste it, and if it's missing anything, you could add some. And you have to really check. So the tomato sauce I used did not contain salt. You have to be careful with what contains salt or not. If not, it'll be too salty. Right now it's perfect in salt, but I feel like it needs a little more garlic. So I have this garlic powder that contains no salt. I'm gonna add some garlic powder. And I get this in the Mexican aisle. It's really good powder. It contains no salt, so you don't over salt something if you already used garlic salt. So I'm just gonna let it dissolve, and then I'm gonna add half a cup of chicken broth. So I'm gonna ahead and bring the sauce to a boil. I just added the chicken broth and it's runnier. Kind of looks like the one from Chicos tacos. It's not kind of runny, not too pasty. This is the texture you want, kind of liquidy. And boil it for at least 5 minutes, and some of that liquid will vaporize. If you could kind of eyeball it to what consistency you want it. So I brought my sauce to a boil and it's already done. This is the consistency I want. Kind of runny but not too pasty. You could see pieces of tomato in there, just like the one from Chicos. And over here I'm already working on my green salsa. And I used 3 jalapenos, 3 tomatillos, half an onion, half a garlic, and everything's boiling right now, and I'm about to blend this. See the garlic, the tomatillo. I'm about to blend this and add pepper to it. for the top green sauce. And my flautas are already drained from all the oil. And if you're gonna make this recipe, I really recommend these flautas. I just tasted one and they just taste just like the ones from Chicos tacos. And these are made with Mexican tortilla, ground beef, real ground beef. So it's the perfect it's a perfect taco if you don't know, you have trouble rolling your flautas. This is the best flautas out there. Okay, so my chiles and tomatoes are ready. See how it's kind of breaking up. I kind of left that too long, but my jalapenos are ready. I like to cut off those stems. So before I put them in the blender, I'm gonna cut off the stem of all of them. Okay, so now I'm adding all this to the blender. Tomato, the onions, the garlics and onions and all, and try to not use so much liquid because you want this kind of pasty. So I'm not gonna use all the liquid that's left behind. Okay, so all of it is in there. I'm gonna bring it to the blender. And here's where I'm gonna add, everything's in there. I'm gonna add pepper, some pepper, some garlic powder, and that's it. It's kind of pasty. That it's really spicy. I could smell it. I'm gonna pour it. And as you can see, it is pasty. It's kind of pasty, but if you want it pastier, add less water, or you could add another tomato, but I think this is perfect for my sauce. So I didn't think of to buy a bowl for these. These are really long and they need to be equally submerged so they taste good and even. I'm gonna use this bowl, but see how they won't be completely submerged. So I'm just gonna use this sandwich Tupperware plate. And I'm only gonna, I think I can only eat 3, so I'm only gonna use 3. I'm gonna pour the sauce on them. Make sure they're fully covered in the sauce. Then I'm gonna add cheese. Then I'm gonna add my green chili sauce. Not too much because I don't like chile, too much chile, and I'll give it a taste. So I just tried these. I just ate 3 tacos. Now I'm about to eat 2 because I don't think they'll fit in me. I'm full, but I didn't expect for these tacos to taste so like the ones from Chicos Tacos. I think this is the perfect recipe, the perfect taco, the perfect sauce, the cheese, everything is just really good. Tastes just like Chicos Tacos. I really love it. I'll make this again, and I'm gonna eat the rest of this. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.